Well, hello, and thanks for joining me today at Juanette's Crafting Corner. In today's video, I'm going to finish up the little mini journal that's going to fit in this case. And in my last video, you saw me make the papers that'll go in it. And what I've done is I've taken my centimeter ruler, it's about 2 centimeters, and I've just put little tick marks at a half a centimeter, 1 centimeter, and 1.5 centimeters to see right where I want to poke the holes. And I'm just going to use my awl, and I'm also going to measure, and I just kind of do it wonky here for this because it's such a small journal. It really doesn't matter as much. So I'm just going to put a little line there, a little line there, and a little line there. You can hardly see them. And I'm just going to go through and punch. And I think I can do it with just this awl. I maybe don't even have to have that book down. Yeah, it goes through easily. And then this one. And then here. Okay. So that's that one. I don't need that book. And then the next one. It's kind of difficult because this color of the outside is dark. Right there and right there. I'm going to go right where I see it. Where was the other one now? There. Right here. It's not too difficult when there's not a ton of papers. Just want to make sure that hole is big enough. Okay. And then the last one. And again, of course, it's dark. Oh. So what is new with me? Gosh, I don't think anything. We are on the status quo right now. I told you about putting the deposit down for a dog. Boy, that's hard to see. Just when I think, okay, I can see that, I'm like, oh, I don't know if I can see that right there. And I know this one is here. Make sure you don't go poking your finger with this awl. That would hurt. I've done that before. And then this one is here. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and poke these too. Yeah, that's pretty easy, not bad at all. This is going to be a fun little journal to decorate, because it's going to be a little bit of a challenge, because to make envelopes for it and pockets and little tags that'll fit in, that's going to be a little bit of a challenge. So I'm going to just take some of this darker brown, and I'm going to use just what's the word I'm looking for? A 3-hole pamphlet stitch. Oh my gosh, that was like crazy for a minute there. Okay, now through the middle first. Okay. What I think I'm going to do, since I don't have a lot to say, I'm just going to kind of fast forward through this. There's a lot of videos out on how to do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. So I'm just going to go ahead and run through this real quick. So instead of fast forwarding the video, I thought I would just yammer on a little bit with you guys. So Roxy Creations, Journal of Stitchery, they've started their 4th episode of Journal of Stitchery. And our first prompt is initials or monogram. And so I'm very excited about that. I'm going to do my piece in reds, burgundies, like deep pinks, cream colors. I bought a lot of French General fabrics, and so I'm going to be using those. So I'm starting to get together my mood board for that project. So I'll be doing some videos on that coming up. Okay, I've sewn in my signatures just using a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. And now let's do a little bit of decorating. And I wanted to show you it fits perfectly in this little pouch, case, whatever it's called. I think it was probably a Bible in there, but see how it goes around, and then it snaps shut. So let's do a little bit of decorating now. So let's make a little envelope to go into this little bitty journal. And I have 2 different envelope punch boards. One is a Stampin' Up! One. I don't believe they sell it any longer. And the other one I have is the We Are Memory Keepers one. The reason I liked this one, and I believe the reason I bought another one, is because of this extension arm. It allows you to score and make a larger envelope. But I don't need to make a large one right now. I just need to make the smaller one. So I'm going to use my Stampin' Up! One. Now, on any of the punch boards or envelope makers, I'm going to zoom you in here. They give you the size of the envelope or what the card is going to be, the paper size that you need, and where you're going to score it. And they have, you know, quite a few of them. The smallest it says you can make is a 2 by 3.5, but that's not true. You can actually make smaller than that. So let me bring you down. There you go. Okay, hopefully you'll be able to see. And what I'm going to make my envelope out of is this piece of Florentine paper. And what you need is a size that is square. So I'm just going to chop off this small little piece here that is got the barcode on it. And let's see, this piece that I have right now is just about, well, let's do 3 1/4. So I'm going to cut a square that is 3 1/4. And then 3 1/4 this way. It's just a little sliver off there. So now we have a perfectly square piece of paper. And so let me bring this in. So all you have to do is score it smaller than what the smallest they say. So say for instance, let's do it at 1 1/2. So you're going to set your piece of paper, the corner here at 1 1/2. I'm going to punch it down, and then there's a little groove here, and I'm going to score that. Then I'm going to flip it to the opposite side. I'm going to put that in right again at 1 1/2. I'm going to punch down, and then I'm going to score it. And then that tells you where you need to put this little thing that comes out here for the next punch and score. So I'm lining this little thing up here right with that score line, which then would be, you would see this even with this curve of where you punched. So we're just going to punch and score again, then flip it to the completely different side, and you're going to line that up again, punch, and score. Then you're going to take what you've scored and punched, and you're going to slip it into this little slot here, and that rounds those corners off. I love this little punch board and envelope maker. I can't tell you how many envelopes I've made over the years. So all you have to do is fold it in on those score lines, and you have a tiny little envelope there, which will fit perfectly into our journal. Look at that. Isn't that perfect? And so now that I've folded it in, let's glue it down. So I'm going to pull the two side tabs in, put just a tiny little bit of glue there to adhere that to that edge, and then a tiny little bit of glue here and here. And then flip that up. And there's our little envelope. Isn't that cool? And you can decorate it. Let's see what else we can do to it. Now I want to put in just a little bit of paper. Oh, this is almost perfect. It's a little bit too tall, but if I just take a small little sliver off, let's see how tall it is. It's just a scotch 1.5. So let's bring in my little paper trimmer here and trim it to 1.5. That's right there. And then we'll fold it up so that it fits in there. And we'll just put the whole thing in there. And then somebody will be able to journal on this. See, perfect. All right, let's see what we can do to the front. Now this is Rachel's faux antique stamp kit, and she's got some really tiny little stamps in here. Let's see if one will fit on the front. They're small, but this envelope is really small. But let's see what we've got. And you could, I like this little green one. You could, if you wanted to, is print them more to a page, and then, you know, like 2 to a page, and then they would be even smaller. Let's cut this one down. I've got my little postage kind of stamp scissors that cut those little ziggity lines on there. And let's ink it up just a tiny bit. Not much. And we'll just glue that up there. And see here, it says Roxy Creations. That was really clever for her to do that. And then let's bring in our little postage stamp. Stamp that I have here. I got these from AliExpress, I believe. And I only need just a tiny little bit. Okay. The other thing we could do is, let me clean this off. I'm very fastidious about my stamps, keeping them clean and in good shape. Let's take, this is the smallest hole punch I have. Sorry about the dinging. My friend is texting me. Let's just take a little bit more of the Florentine paper. I love this Florentine paper. These are all my little scraps that I just keep in a little pouch. Got a little bit of green there. This red is pretty, but I want a small piece so I don't have to ruin a nice big piece. I don't know if I like the red so much. Let's try this. Let's see what this looks like. So what I'm going to do is punch out a couple, just so that they're thicker. And actually what I might do is then punch out a piece of cardstock or thicker. Yeah, this is pretty thick here. So what I'm going to do is just put a little bit of glue here, if it'll come out. I had to get a new pen for my glue, and it doesn't go down far enough. And so I need to order some new pens. Clogs a little bit more. Let's see here now. We'll put one on one side. And I don't think we have to really on the other side, but since I punched it out, I'm going to. And then let's ink this up just a tiny, tiny bit. And then if I stick that right there, it will be able to tuck underneath there. So the key is to only put just a tiny little bit of glue just to hold it in place down at the bottom here. And then that flap can come in and out. Let's just double check that it can. Yeah. Maybe could be shortened up a little bit. But I'll do that in a minute. So that's our little envelope for our journal. And we can just clip it in. Let's see. We could just clip it there. Let's see, which page do I want to put it on? This would work. I like that. Let's find a little paper clip here. Hold that there to keep it open. this little bitty gold one. Sometimes they're very difficult. They're strong. They're difficult to get in. Oh, you know what? If I do, well, what I'm going to do is still put that like that. And then, see, because I put that little thing there, it won't, oh, it still could be a decoration, I guess. Let's just put this like this. Isn't that cute? That's fantastic. All right, let's make sure it still fits into our little pouch. I don't want to get it too full. And I want to decorate the outside just a little bit more. See, it's perfect. Yep, that's still, we could still add a few more things. So I've gone ahead and decorated a lot of the pages inside the little journal, and I'm going to show you that in just a minute. But I did want to add something here to tie the journal into the cover. I feel this is a little bit stark. And you guys remember me telling you about the tatting that I found in Italy that was all wadded up in a ball? Well, I did put a lot of it that was long like this on cards, but then there was still a bunch that I had in a bag, and I took it out and laid it flat and put an iron to it and flattened it out so you can see the design a little bit better. So I've got it on these cards to use in future journals. But I do have a couple of small pieces here that I think will look good on the front of this journal. This one here, I'm going to put up in the top right-hand corner. It's very fiddly because I don't want to get glue on the other side. I only want it on this side. And I want it to be adhered fairly well, because if somebody keeps pulling the journal in and out of the little storage thing, it could rip off. So I think I have it right there. So I'm just going to lay it down flat here and bring this one around and just let that lay wherever it's going to lay. And I think that's okay. I'm going to let that dry. And then I thought I would put this little piece down here. So yeah, let's just do that. You can see that it's hand done because of all those little strings. I think I got glue there. I kind of have it all over, it looks like. But we'll just see what happens there. I think that's going to be okay. So I'm going to let that sit and dry for a minute, and then we will do a final flip through of this cute little journal. I just love it. Okay, let's just do a little flip through of this mini little journal and case. So you saw where I glued that down. We've got our front and back cover. I've zoomed you in so that you can see it well. I've got a little tag here that says this belongs to. This is that Italian ledger page. Everything in here is from Italy or Italy related. I've got a little tag here that is just clipped onto that page, and you can journal on it. It just slips into this pocket. Now, I did not glue this side of the pocket down because I want you to be able to get it out easily. And I felt with the paper clip, it would be okay. It wouldn't fall out of the journal. There is actually quite a bit of writing space in this little journal. This is just a little bit of Florentine paper. This is one of those candy wrappers of that beautiful, wonderful chocolate that I told you about. And I just backed it and sewed around it. And then this is a belly band here, and it just folds up and slides in here in the belly band so that you can journal on it. This, I'm going to do a little video to show you how I did this. This is medical tape and some Nuvo drops and what have you. And if you look real close, you can see there's writing on that. So we'll do a little video of that in the future. Just a little bit of washi tape there. One of Rachel's labels there. They're perfect size for a mini journal like this. And then this page is antique paper. It's the middle of that one signature, and I just folded it in and added a little washi tape on both sides there. Then I've got another little bit of washi tape there, and I took a corner rounder or edger, what do I want to say, a punch, and punched those corners out there. This is the little envelope that we made on camera just previously, and you saw the piece of paper in there. And then I have another little pocket here with just this really small journaling card. This is some of my lace from my digital kit in my Etsy store, and I just stitched around it with some gold thread, and it just slides right in there. And that's the first signature. This is old antique rag paper there. And in this little pocket, I just folded up again some more of that old antique paper, and I just tied a little bit of hemp string around it. So all you have to do is slip that hemp string off. You don't have to untie it. And then I sewed around the edges. This is a little cigarette card here with some flowers on it, and I just hinged it onto this page. This is just the back of some old packing paper. And there's another one of those chocolate labels, and I just put a little bit of Florentine paper over the top there. I've got a cute little tag here that you can journal on, and it's just in a little side pocket with a little bit of eyelash lace on it. And this is that straw paper. This again is just a small piece of Florentine paper that I've added to the top up there. Another one of those candy wrappers. And then on this page, I stapled one of the flowers that Pam from Pandora's Junk Journal sent me. I just tore it small and then just used the tiny attacher there and stapled it onto that page. Thanks, Pam. I think it's very cute there. And then in here, I have another small little tag. This is Florentine paper that I just backed with some cardstock and then just added a little tab on the top. Another little tag here. This is a punch from Stampin' Up, and I just punched it out after backing it. This is one of Rachel's pieces of paper, and then I just added a little leaf sticker here and a little bit of book page there. And then this is Florentine paper to make this little pocket there. And that's the end of the second signature. This little page here, the envelope just slides in and out. I made it like that other envelope that I showed you guys. It's just a little bit bigger, but it's just got a small piece of paper in there, one of Rachel's stamps, a small little piece of lace there, and it just slides in here. Oh, and on this is another one of Rachel's labels, some of that book page here, and then just I believe that's a Tim Holtz flower there. And that just slides right in there. Venice there. I made another little pocket here with Florentine paper, just a small little tag that is a Stampin' Up punch. It's got a beautiful little butterfly there. And then I just sewed around the edge there. This was so much fun to make, just this mini little journal. Mini little journal. That was funny. And then this is what some cake was wrapped in. This little piece of Florentine paper there, and I just used a punch here on the edge there. And that is the end of this little mini journal. And let me show you, it fits perfectly into this case. It just slides right in. And then snaps shut. So, thanks for joining me today at Juanette's Crafting Corner. I hope you enjoyed this little mini journal. If you're interested in buying it, please let me know. I might consider selling it. But other than that, we will see you guys next Monday. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.